Am I the asshole for being honest with my niece when she asked for my advice? I am gay and have been out of the closet for more than 15 years. My niece is a lesbian and she came out a few years ago. She is 20 years old. We are close and we talk a few times every month. Last month, she had called me and asked me for advice. She asked what my experience dating people still in the closet had been. I didn't think much of it. She has asked me about my experiences before. She wants to write a book about LGBTQ+, and I thought it was mostly as material for the book. I was honest with her. It is hard to date someone in the closest. It is almost as if you have shoved some part of yourself back into the closet to not out your partner. I told her that I had seen many people who started their relationship while a partner was out and the other was still in the closet, but they were able to support each other and come out and get married and be happy together. I also talked about my experience dating a man who was in the closet and he was an incredible partner, but he was not willing to come out at all. The best outcome I could hope for was to be roommate. After some time I started to feel more like a guilty secret that his boyfriend. I couldn't force him to come out, so I broke up with him. He had to choose between family and me and he chose his family. Nothing wrong with that. I emphasized that it was about trust, if you trusted your partner to come out in time. It was worth it, but if you had doubts about it, if they could ever build a life together, then it is better to break up with them. My sister called me and shouted at me for projecting me experience onto her daughter. She seems to have broken up with her girlfriend who is still in the closet. I didn't even know she had a girlfriend. She accused me of poisoning her mind. I feel a bit guilty as my opinion is jaded by my experiences. Had I known she was asking about her own relationship, I would have been a bit more cautious with my words. Not the asshole. Your niece is a grown adult woman and your sister needs to butt out of her relationship with other people. This obviously weighed heavily on your niece and she was leaning towards leaving her partner anyways and wanted your opinion. Albeit she asked by being sneaky XD. Not the asshole. Your sister is wrong on 2 counts. Jumping to conclusions about what you said. And trying to control how you communicate with her adult daughter. You did nothing but answer a direct question honestly. Not the asshole. Your niece came to someone she trusted for advice. It was you, not her mother. That says something. Not the asshole. You were just being honest and giving her your experience. If she wanted you to be more sensitive, she should have told you what the question was actually about. Not the asshole. You didn't ask your niece to do anything. She asked about your experiences, and you answered honestly. Besides, she's an adult woman, and is responsible for her own choices. Not the asshole. I think your sister has overreacted a bit. Your niece no doubt wanted an honest opinion, and you gave it to her. It also seems like she already had basically made up her mind already, so I think she might have just wanted to confirm her own feelings about it all. Furthermore, she is an adult, so I don't think one can blame her decisions on you. Not the asshole. Honestly, I'd sit down with your niece and check in with her to see how she was doing. I'd then set the table for future brain-picking sessions she may do by asking that she be up front on why she was asking the things she was asking and to make it clear that her not being open about her motives for asking for your experiences put you in a really bad position with her mother. Who honestly is overstepping as a mom here? What you did was be honest about your life as you saw it. You didn't tell her what to do. I don't know if her decision to break up with her girlfriend was rash or not, but we make mistakes in life. If this is one for her, hopefully she learns from it. Info. Why does your sister think she has any business interfering with her 20-year-old daughter's relationships? NTA. You say jaded, but you gave her both good and bad stories. Honesty is always best. Love, no matter what, is a risk. It requires vulnerability. You shouldn't cookie-cut your own experiences, but also remind her that her experiences will never be exactly the same as yours. As for the mother, her daughter is grown. You didn't go into the conversation with malicious intent. She needs to back off FR. Not the asshole. It would have been nice to know the background for your niece's questions, something you may want to discuss with her, but your answers seem very honest and balanced regardless. You didn't go on a one-sided rant about your personal experience, but you seem to have hit on several important facets of this topic as you see it. I think your sister is overstepping a little. If she was concerned about her daughter breaking off her relationship, that's valid, but attacking you over it isn't reasonable. Not the asshole. You didn't give her advice, you shared your experience. She must have seen something of what you were describing in her own relationship. She's an adult who can make her own decisions. Not the asshole. Your answer seems very honest and thorough, and your niece was likely already thinking about breaking up with her partner prior to your conversation. Hence the breakup shortly after. It's a little strange how invested your sister was in their relationship though. Seems like there's some missing information there. Not the asshole. You shared positive and negative experiences about dating someone that's still closeted. Your niece was able to make her own decision. She is 20 years old after all, so it's not your fault. Not the asshole. You didn't poison her mind, and the fact that she asked for your opinion, even though you didn't know you were giving it, suggested she already was on the fence about where the relationship was going. Your niece is a grown adult. She is mature enough to have insight into how her own relationship is tracking and if she has doubts about where it's heading. I started to feel more like a guilty secret that his boyfriend. This sucks no matter the orientation, and I have ended things over it as well. Not the asshole that actually reads like well-rounded advice. People end relationships all the time because they are at different stages of their life, and I am sure your conversation highlighted things your niece felt, noticed but could not articulate to herself. Your sister needs to apologize to you and her daughter. Not the asshole. I feel for your niece, but you're not wrong. She also asked you under false pretenses, which I get, which lead to you perhaps not filtering your feedback quite as gently as you maybe would have. I don't think she's an asshole, but her mom is. Not the asshole. Honestly, it was probably better that you, unknowingly, eliminated your bias. You gave her the honest truth and she probably would prefer that over some sugar-coated bullshit, seeing as she took it to heart and acted of her own accord. I know I would. Not the asshole. As a gay man, I completely agree with what you're saying. Being closeted is, usually, an automatic deal-breaker for me. For me, coming out was mostly about self-acceptance, as I'm fortunate enough to have grown up in a supportive environment. I've done that. I've come to terms with that and with the fact that some people won't like me because of my sexuality. I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to put myself back in the closet for someone else. Coming out is a really hard thing to do and I don't want to have to go through that experience again. The only exception I would make is with someone who's in the closet for their own safety, living situation, etc. I'm just not prepared to hide that part of myself anymore. Not the asshole. I literally watched my best friend's 10-year relationship go down because his boyfriend was in the closet and refused to come out. My boyfriend said that 10 years of being introduced as the roommate, friend, was just too much. The ex also turned most of our other friends against him even though ex already was dating someone else. My boyfriend caught him on Grindr when he was home for a visit. My boyfriend is in a new happier relationship now and wishes his ex no ill will. But still, it was so hard to watch that for 10 years. Not the asshole. You treated your niece with respect by being honest. You didn't tell her what to do, you just talked about your experience. Don't feel guilty at all. She asked your opinion and you delivered in an honest way. It wasn't a do as I do situation, especially since you didn't even know about her girlfriend. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. As a young person, maybe the ex-girlfriend was in the closet for safety reasons. Not all parents are supportive. The choice might have been out and homeless versus in the closet until able to be financially independent. Your niece decided for herself that going back in the closet to keep her relationship wasn't worth it. Your sister being mad at you is strange. Why would she want her daughter to be in a relationship where she couldn't fully be herself? Not the asshole. You didn't tell her to break up with her GF. You just shared the insight you've gained over the years. On a personal note, I'm a lesbian who has dated several closeted and semi-closeted people over the years and I think you hit the nail on the head with your assessment. I probably would have said the same thing myself, though probably not as eloquently. Not the asshole. Your sister sounds like a peach. Your advice resonated with me. A cis-white male. It's honest and heartfelt about the mental and emotional strain of dating someone in the closet. My bet here is your niece was already feeling the strain of no real dates and no PDA. In a world and generation where LGBTQ+ openness is much more the norm, it must be harder to put on a veil. Not the asshole. Your niece asked you about your experiences dating someone in the closet and you answered honestly. You had no idea your niece would use the advice to break up with her GF. You weren't projecting your experience or poisoning her mind. She made a choice to break up. You didn't tell her to do this. Her mom has no reason to be upset with you. Your niece needed confirmation that the feelings she had while dating someone in the closet were valid and not just immaturity and lack of relationship experience. Once she realized how she felt was valid, it helped her make the decision to move on and do what is best for her. And reading this, my first inclination was that maybe your sister was happy her daughter was in a relationship with a closeted individual because it kept her from being loud and proud about her sexuality. And that is the reason for her anger at the situation. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. A whole ass adult asked you for advice and you gave it. No? Not the asshole. This sounds like very sound advice. If your niece didn't have some issues with her girlfriend being in the closet, she wouldn't have asked someone with some experience with this how you felt about it. Why is her mom mad about her choices, anyway? Did she dump Paris Hilton? Not the asshole. She is 20 years old. Why is your sister involved in her relationship? She asked for advice, you gave it. Your sister is not a relevant party to this when your niece is an adult. Not the asshole first. I see why your niece didn't ask your sister. It sounds like your niece already had doubts. Some people get mad when you ask for advice and it isn't taken. They don't understand the true point of asking advice. Asking for advice is to broaden your perspective. See how it feels to you, and if you relate. Asking for advice isn't asking someone else to make the decision for you. Only weak people do that, and your niece doesn't sound weak. Your sister doesn't seem to understand this concept though. Not the asshole. Extra not the asshole because niece didn't tell you she was dating someone in the closet, she couched her questions in book research. And triple not the asshole because you're not wrong about dating folks in the closet. It gets ugly if they aren't planning to ever come out, and just want to keep you as a secret toy. Edited, because the word niece looked weird and misspelled, but it wasn't. Bye girl here, and honestly, she just needed to hear that from someone, that it is difficult to date someone who is in the closet and that although it can work out, unless you can trust your partner it won't. She wouldn't have sought someone else's input for simple reassurances to stay in a relationship she was having doubts about, she just needed to hear an unbiased lay of the land. You're not in a hole, and neither is she or the girlfriend. It is really hard not having a supportive family. But your sister is a minor one because of her behavior, but honestly, if she apologizes and is really sorry for lashing out at you, I'd forgive her. Not the asshole. Come on. Of course you are not the asshole. Your niece asked for your advice and experience and you shared it. She is 20 years old and can take it or leave it. Not the asshole. Good God. Mom needs to uncork and let go. Daughter is 20, a full-fledged adult in nearly every single way. This is her life. Not the asshole. She asked for advice. That was your experience and honestly it sounded like good advice. Not the asshole. I'm bisexual and have been out since I was very young. What you said was true and was asked for. There's no way you're even a tiny bit of an asshole here. Your sister is though. Info. Why is your sister mad you taught your niece to respect herself enough not to be treated like a dirt secret? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. She asked and she's an adult. You gave her your experience, which to me sounds like solid advice. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You gave honest advice. Nothing wrong. Not the asshole. You shared your experiences as asked. If it was under false pretenses from your niece, that's on her, not you. And she's 20, not 2. Mama needs to recognize that and understand that her adult niece made her adult decision for her own adult life. NTA. My brother is gay and the one thing we told him when he came out was that you are no one's secret. Do not hide a part of yourself just to make someone else happy. It was the one question I would ask him when he said he was dating someone new when he was younger. Now that he is older, it's just a given that the other person is also out to at least his family. Some people do not like their coworkers to know, which I understand. Honesty is the best policy. No, you are not asshole. Asshole is creating a false reality. Not the asshole. You gave your niece advice. You then told her your experience with dating someone in the closet. Your sister needs to let her daughter be the adult she is. There might be more to why the breakup happened. NTA. You gave her both sides of it and said that it could work or it might not. She knows herself and her partner best and it sounds like she didn't think it would work out. You gave her all the info to make her own educated decision and she did just that. Not the asshole. Everything you told your niece is the painful but honest truth that any number of queer people can relate to. I'm sure a huge majority of us have struggled with exactly the same thing, from both sides. Probably something is up with your sister op. Not the asshole. Dan Savage has covered this topic extensively, and would agree with your advice and your niece's decision. This might be the kick in the butt your niece's now ex needs to come out, assuming she can do so safely. Not the asshole. You didn't need to be more cautious, you didn't poison anyone. You were honest with your life's experiences and I see nothing wrong with what you said. It is hard to date someone who treats you like a secret, no matter what the reason. Your niece isn't a secret to be squirreled away. She's a person who deserves a relationship filled with honesty and authenticity. I don't know why her mom was so invested in this relationship that she'd scream at you for being honest.